There have been some questions about numbers 5 through 7 on the assignment below, so I'm going to add just a quick video about how to do the simplify the complex fractions A through D. For these, you're going to have a fraction over a fraction, so just have to remember that you're going to keep the top fraction the same, flip the bottom fraction, and multiply times the top one. So on this first part, the cosecant is written as 1 over the sine of theta, and the cotangent is written as the cosine of theta over the sine of theta. So then if we keep the top one the same, so keep this the same, and then change to multiply and flip the bottom. So we're going to change this to multiply, and then we're going to make this be sine over cosine. Then what we see is the cosines are going to cancel out from here to here. So we're going to go ahead and cancel those out. And that leaves you with 1 over cosine of theta and 1 over cosine of theta. From the identities in the box above is shown here. 1 over cosine of theta is secant of theta. So for each one of these, we're looking at trying to simplify it just a little bit more. There's a little bit more going on in each one. So let's move this over. I'm going to do part C. I'm going to change this cosine of theta. And again, I'm going to highlight all the things I do change. So secant is more complicated, so I'm going to change it to 1 over cosine using the identity. And then I have this is tangent on the bottom. And just like before, I can put this over a 1 and multiply straight across. Those two cosines are going to cancel each other out, and that leaves us with a 1 on the top and a tangent on the bottom. 1 over tangent from our identities above is right here. 1 over tangent is equal to cotangent of theta. So it's just a little process of trying to figure out what makes it simple. So in the case of D, I'm going to change this part. Oops, wrong. Let's make this a highlighter. We're going to change this one. So it will be sine of theta over 1 over sine of theta. We're going to keep that top fraction the same. We're going to take this one and we're going to flip it and multiply. So that will become times sine of theta over 1. And then when we multiply straight across, that is sine squared theta. And so that's how we're going to do that. On the one above that, for part B, we have 1 minus sine squared, 1 minus cosine squared theta. And if we find that up here, we have this one. And it says that sine squared is equal to that. So the top is sine squared. And the denominator will be sine squared over cosine squared. And I'm going to change this one. I'm going to flip it and multiply by it. So I'm going to take this and multiply by cosine squared over sine squared. It's that keep, change, flip that you guys taught me about. And when I multiply straight across, this sine squared and that sine squared will cancel. And that will leave me with cosine squared theta. So I end up with those 4 answers as we go forward. So I hope that those will help you when you look at numbers 5 through 7.